damn ball, RJ.
And we are back talking about the NFL, talking about Kyler Murray, talking about Baker Mayfield, talking about Cody Ford. So, someone told Albert Breer, Sports Illustrated, writes the Monday morning quarterback column for Sports Illustrated. It's a really good read each and every week. I enjoy it. Somebody told him Cody Ford could have gone number 11 to Cincinnati if Jonah Williams was gone, which is offensive tackle out of Alabama that they took, because that's how highly graded he was by a lot of teams. And I find that to be fascinating because the Bills really wanted Cody Ford, and they showed that. But Bills.com did a really cool feature where they showed their front office and their coaching staff in a room just sweating it out. And what I love most about that is that they're talking about what other teams are going to do. And they're like, Texas is going to take Cody Ford because they need a tackle. And they were mad that they weren't going to get him. Then they took Titus Howard, which I also think is a really good pick, because anytime you can get a converted quarterback to play any other position in the NFL, I think you're just better off, right? So Titus Howard was a high school quarterback who was a tight end, who was a tackle by the time he left South Alabama, went the first round to the Houston Texans in a spot that everybody, myself included, thought was going to be Cody Ford. But what I love most about that feature was these dudes in the front office are just like us when we're doing snake drafts on fantasy. Like, they're just like us. They are sweating. They are yelling at the screen, talking about, don't take him. Don't take him. Like, their hands are like they're surrender cobraing, watching the draft. Talking about, but because, they know what their board looks like. They don't know what anybody else's board looks like. Or, I love that. I love knowing that for the most part, general managers and coaches are just dudes. They just dudes out here making picks. Maybe a bit more educated picks than we're making, but for the most part, they're sweating it out like everybody else. So, why did I tell you that Cody Ford could have gone 11? Well, it's because Cody Ford went 38. Now, I'm bringing that to your attention because Jim Thorpe Award winner, Paycom Jim Thorpe Award winner, Minkah Fitzpatrick went number 11 overall last year and signed his contract for a guaranteed $16.45 million. So, last year, the same player taken at 38 overall was Ronald Jones to the Bucs running back. He signed for guaranteed $4.5 million. So we're talking about a difference of $12 million between going number 11 and going number 38. And if you're counting the money, and I am, it's a really big deal. And if you think you can get Cody Ford at 38, then go get him at 38. Which kind of leads me into pay Dak Prescott. Pay that man his money. Like, find a Teddy KGB clip, walk up to it, put your hands on your hips like John Malkovich and say, pay that man. Pay that man his money. Look, because that's what it is. I'm going to pay Dak before I pay Zeke, just like the Cowboys. Because I know what Zeke is. All right? I'm going to walk this out for you right quick. I get that they use him like Earl Campbell. Like when Bum Phillips had Earl Campbell. And Earl Campbell can't finish a mile. Bum Phillips famously said, well, when it's first in a mile, I won't give him the ball. That's Zeke. We're going to give him the ball every other time. And that Jason Garrett is going to ride Zeke into the ground because that's what Jason Garrett does with his running backs. He wants a feature tailback. The Cowboys used a 4th-round pick on Tony Pollard out of Memphis. And they got a 7th-round pick in Mike Weber. That's sneaky good. Because they want to get Zeke some really good dudes to spell him with. But make no mistake, Zeke, leading rusher, well, I should say Zeke has been leading rusher 2 of the last 3 years, 2018, 2016. But the Cowboys have had the leading rusher in the NFL in 3 of the last 5 years, 2014 being DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray ain't playing football no more, y'all. And a lot of that has to do with Jason Garrett going, nah, get that man the ball 300 times. I don't care. Run him. Run him. And I'm going, who's not going to be himself in a couple of years? Zeke Elliott. Hey, Zeke, get it while you can get it. And I'd be mad, too, that Dak is getting paid before you. But that's just what it is. Because I'm also looking at Dak Prescott. And I know that a lot of y'all want to compare him to Cam Newton. But he only compares to Cam Newton in one way. And I'm going to get to that. But let me walk you through this. There are 5 recent quarterbacks who have been full-time starters by their second season in the league. And they had similar success to Prescott in their first 3 years. Those guys are Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, Joe Flacco, and Russell Wilson. Corey, real quick for the people, what do all of those men have in common?
I'm going to guess a Super Bowl ring?
Oh, there it is. Whoop, there it is. 4 of the 5 took their teams to Super Bowls as a starter in the years 4 through 9, right? Russell Wilson is kind of the notable exception because he took his team to the Super Bowl twice in his in 3 years, and only had 4 more seasons since that outlier. So means 80% of the second contracts doled out to young quarterbacks who won out of the gate proved Dak Prescott is worth the money. And this doesn't even count 4 starting QBs this era who either didn't start immediately or have a great record to begin their careers. Drew Brees, he got a Super Bowl ring. Phil Rivers still needs a Super Bowl ring. Aaron Rodgers, he has a Super Bowl ring. And Cam Newton. Now, of these 4, the only player who didn't grow by leaps statistically was Newton, who started his career 25 and 23 and has gone like 43 and 30 and 1 over the next 5 years, including a Super Bowl appearance and an MVP. Cam Newton has made his money back and then some, even as people want to drag him. And I get that you think that Dak Prescott is not going to turn into the passer that some of these other cats are, but we have statistics to show he's in line with guys that win and play for Super Bowls, which is what it is in Dallas. That's what it is for me. It's winning. It's what we talked about at the start of the show with Baker. It's competitive culture. That's what we're here for.
Yep.
We're here for W's. So how do you make sure that Dak Prescott gets his money and you can still have some salary cap room? Well, if you pad his deal with $15 million in guaranteed bonus as a signing bonus, and you pay him his base salary of $2 million, you get that cap space over the next 5 years to about $5 million in 2019. All this to say that pay the man his $87 million guaranteed, pay him his $29 million on average, his $30 million on average, because you've already secured DeMarcus Lawrence. You're going to get Amari Cooper signed. You're going to get Zeke Elliott signed. You're going to make a run at the title this year, possibly next year. And then as Zeke's legs start to actually fall off, there goes the window. And it's been clear that they also, as much as I hated them not taking a safety in the draft, they did go get Connor McGovern, who was the best available player. They had a second-round grade for him. They got him in the 3rd round. So you could end up with an outstanding line, again, to block for an outstanding tailback. And if Amari Cooper continues to be the technician that he is, and you get just a little bit of help on the other side of the line of scrimmage, you're going to be all right. Jason Witten came back because he saw what I see, which is a team that can contend. All right? That's what it is. Can they contend for a championship? We thought that Dak Prescott might be an 11-win quarterback last year before the season started. He went 10-6 and he won the division.
Yeah.
Why are y'all mad at Dak Prescott? Why?
I feel like people want him to be something that he's really, I don't want to say not going to be, but they want him to live up to something. Like his first year was incredible, right? So they want that on a yearly, consistent basis, and it's just not like that in the league, bro. Like you're going to have up and down years, and plus he's only 3 years in, so he's still learning.
Well, and that's kind of the point. But as he gets better, watch Zeke deteriorate.
Yeah.
304 carries last year. That's a lot. That's 43 more than any other NFL player last year.
I'm with you 100%. But here's the question: we're sitting here talking about this. Dallas still has not paid him. There's an underlying reason to that. You know what I mean? I think there's a certain uncertainty with
Dak
him.
or Zeke.
Dak.
No, they sent him an offer.
What was the offer?
They didn't report it, but they do want to get this done before the season starts.
Right.
So they sent him an offer. They're waiting to hear back from Dak and his people. Now Dak went and got CAA to represent him, so he's looking for a number. And most people think he's going to get around $65 million guaranteed, which, cool. He's going to make more money than DeMarcus Lawrence. He's a quarterback. I pay my quarterback. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
That's the only person that I pay. And I'm never, ever, 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 ever paying a running back. I'm just not. I don't care if it is Zeke. I get that Zeke is the franchise, but that's how the franchise is built, and that's what the money is for. Zeke got his money now. If Zeke want to hold out, cool. You got Tony Pollard, and you got Mike Weber in the 7th, who had rookie minicamp suck. You got Mike Weber hurt for no reason. That dude needed an MRI now. And he was decent, if not good, at Ohio State. But there's also other running backs I can go get. People forget Ajay is still out there. Bilal Powell is still out there. Chris Ivory is still out there.
Well, so hold on. The dude they drafted got hurt at rookie minicamp?
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about this about rookie minicamp, like the purpose of it?
No, but I was going to ask you, what do you think the purpose of rookie minicamp is as a person who's gone through it?
Well, for the coaches, man, it's like, they just got their shiny new toys. You're not going to sit there and look at it. It's like Christmas morning. You want to see what toys, is lit, what's going to work out, what's not. And for them, man, look, football coaches just want to be on the field coaching at the end of the day. Like, they hate meetings. They hate all the minutia and all that other stuff. For a guy coming in, it is a chance to get some reps at the playbook, you know what I mean, and start using terminology, being in the huddle, hearing the play calls and all that jazz. But one can argue it is a huge waste of time. And especially since they've been not playing football for 5 months.
Yeah, they fat.
You're not really easing them into it. Like, there's no weightlifting, conditioning. Like, they've been doing all that stuff, but at least get them in the building and work them out for 2 weeks before you just throw them out there.
I see some value to that. I also know that you can't play with your toys in the fall if you break them in May. I mean, that's what it is. Like, put them through orientation. Teach them how to pay bills. Because they don't have to do that. Teach them how to actually shop for themselves and cook. Give them some life skills, because you're going to do install, and they're going to forget install. They're going to read a playbook like everybody else read a playbook.
Yep.
That's
true.
Maybe they'll take up golf like Tony Romo and then get embarrassed playing on the web.com tour.
Ouch.
Look, we're going to talk some more about sports and mamas when we come back. I got a mama story. I got a couple mama stories. I know Corey got a mama story. And I want to read your mama stories on Mama's Day. Happy Mother's Day.